guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Marilyn, and if you're not new, welcome back. So today I will be doing a get to know me tag. I was tagged by JACKIENATURALS. I will put her name over here. I will be linking her channel and the video she made of get to know me tag in the description box, so you guys could go check her out and make sure you subscribe to her because I just love watching her videos. So thank you, Jackie, for tagging me on this tag. So this tag has 10 questions and I have them right here. I didn't write them down. I'm actually reading them off from her description box. So anyways, question number 1, where are you from? So I was born in San Bernardino, California, but my family is from Mexico, from Michoacan. Okay, question number 2, where did you meet your husband? So I'm not married, but I do have a boyfriend, and we met in a go-kart place in San Bernardino. Okay, question number 3, how many children? I don't have real children, but I do have 2 hairy children, Bimbo and Bartolo. If you guys are new here and don't know what hairy children are, it is puppies, dogs. Question number 4, are you an empty nester? I actually didn't know what that was, so I had to go Google it. An empty nester is a parent whose children have grown up and left home. So no, I'm not an empty nester because I don't have real children. Okay, question number 5, what are your hobbies? So my hobby is YouTube, pretty much. And I love editing, so I guess that's my other hobby. I just love anything that has to do with like video editing, sound editing, Photoshop, and all of that. I like eating. Is that a hobby? Question number 6. What do you love more, makeup or clothes? So this one is hard because I like both, but I feel like I'm more into makeup right now. Maybe in a few years it will change. But for now, makeup. Okay, question number 7, introvert or extrovert? So if you guys know me, I used to be an extrovert back in the day, and now I don't really talk and I'm really shy, and I don't know, it's weird. So I feel like I'm an introvert, or like a mixture of both, but mostly introvert. Okay, question number 8, what have been your past jobs? Oh my, so this one's a hard one because I've had so many jobs ever since I was 16 or 17, I don't remember. I think 16. And I'm that type of person that once I'm like used to that job and I get bored of it, I'll quit and find another job that's harder. And once I'm good at it and I get bored of it, I'll quit and find another job. So I don't know if you guys have seen the list that Homer Simpson has. That's me right there. So my first job when I was 17 or 16, I'm not sure, and I started working at a radio station in Pueblo, Colorado. It was a small Spanish radio station. I was a salesperson, production, so I would edit the commercials, and on weekends they would let me be on air for 2 hours. So I really loved it. So in the same radio station I also did traffic manager. Anyways, at the same time as I was working at the radio station, I was working at this company. It was like an eviction company that worked with a bank, so I had to call the people. So it was pretty sad, and I only did that for like 3 months because I was like underpaid. Anyway, so I only worked there 3 months, and the radio station I worked there like a year and a half, and then I had to quit because we moved to California. And then once I moved to California, I started working at a warehouse. Well, it was a factory because that's where they made the pipes for plumbing, so PBS or AVS and all that good stuff, and T's and elbows and all of that good stuff. And I worked there for 2 years, and then at the same time I was working in Macy's as a sales associate. I was on call, but I would work there 4 or 5 times a week, and I worked at Macy's for like 6 months. But then at the same time I was also working at this other company that I hate so much. It was like a vitamin company, and I had to fill up the little clear pills with the powder inside, and then you could split them open and all that stuff. And I also had to put the cotton inside the bottle so I could keep it fresh. So I did that, and which they haven't paid me for 2 weeks that I worked there. I don't know if I could get my money back. Anyways, after that I worked in a pillowcase warehouse. Well, they had pillowcases, pillows, and mattresses, but I worked checking the pillowcases. I had to make sure that the zipper worked. It was the most boring job ever. And the warehouses is when they started isolating me, so I always worked by myself. So that's how I started to become an introvert, because I didn't talk to anyone. I was started to become shy when people would approach me and all that. Anyways, and after that I worked in a toilet paper warehouse for Jubilee, and that only lasted a couple of weeks because I had to work from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. and I was so exhausted and I was getting depressed and I just hated working that schedule. So I only worked there for like a few weeks, like a month and a half or so, and I would just put the toilet paper inside the plastics. So let me just tell you guys, toilet paper is not very sanitary. Just remove the first layer of toilet paper. That's all I'm saying. The next job that I had was another radio station in San Bernardino, California, and I had really high hopes for that job. I started as a salesperson and I had told the manager that I wanted to work in production and edit commercials and all of that good stuff, and he said, yeah, I'll give you that opportunity, but first do sales, and after that I'll move you into production in a couple of weeks. And it was the worst thing ever. I was there for like 3 or 4 months and I couldn't handle it, because then he started insulting me and calling me stupid and all that. Anyways, the next job that I had after that was another warehouse, and it was for Walgreens. It was for Walgreens and Black & Decker. Black & Decker is a company of appliances, I believe. I worked there only seasonal because it was a seasonal job, and I worked there from 2 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I loved it. And I know it was a lot of hours, but they would pay us cash and I was young, so I didn't get really tired, and I just loved it. And I loved the people that I worked with. It was so fun. And then I worked in Huntington Beach polishing and plating like sinks and other stuff that's normally plated and polished, like doorknobs, stuff for hospitals. And right there I would do inventory, I would do packing, and I would do shipping. I really liked it and it was fun, although I did have to drive 2 hours to go to work. And then after that I worked for another company in Riverside, and it was another warehouse, but I worked in the office and I was a manifester, which I pretty much just had to input orders for the truck drivers and give the orders to the truck drivers. And it was so fun. I met so many nice people. I only worked there for like 5 months because I had to quit. I was going to get eye surgery and they couldn't wait for me more than a month to come back, so I couldn't go back, because once I got eye surgery or LASIK, I couldn't go out to the sun for 3 months, so I couldn't really use the computer or be in bright lights or anything, so that sucks. But I really enjoyed that job. And then after that I worked in Redlands at the warehouse where my mom worked for Keurig. So I worked for Keurig and I would fix the coffee machines, all the coffee machines that people returned because they were like damaged or something. We would change the wiring and all that stuff inside of the coffee machine. So I did that for a couple of months because that was only temporary. And then after that I worked in another warehouse. It was for Walmart. It was pretty much unloading. It was so stressful. At first I liked it because, well, I like working at warehouses because I like to like work fast. Usually in that place you have to have 2 or 3 people helping you unload a trailer, but the 2 managers that were there, they didn't like me for I don't know what reason. Since the first day they didn't like me, and they would always make me work alone, which was really upsetting. And I had a friend there and she would always tell me like, how come they always put you by yourself? I'm like, I don't know. And I was so frustrated. I had to work like super fast because if I took 4 hours to unload a trailer, they would get so pissed off, while 3 people would unload a trailer in 2 hours. I'm like, I feel like I'm working fast enough and you guys still don't appreciate it. So that only lasted like 6 or 7 months. And then I asked around to see how much people were getting paid, and I was getting paid 9 and everyone else was getting paid 11. So I was pissed off. So in that job I also had to load trucks. Like we had to switch off. Like one day we would unload, the next day we would load. So anyways, one time I had to load, and I had to load these huge boxes that were like super heavy. And I had this big box of strollers, and I don't know if you guys ever worked at warehouses or know how trailers look inside, but you have to like make walls. You don't just put it like anywhere, you have to like make it organized. So anyways, there was this big old gap on top. So I was planning on putting this big box of strollers like all the way in the top so it could be like even. And so I went to ask for help because I couldn't carry the box by myself, and they're like,
no, you could do it by yourself.
And so I went and did it by myself, and I pushed the box and the stupid box fell back, and the corner of the box like hit me right in the eye, and I was dead, you guys. I saw pitch black for the next like 6 hours. I was so scared because I had barely got eye surgery like a few months ago, so I was like, fuck, I messed up my eye. I'm gonna be blind forever. I went and told the manager, I'm like, I damaged my eyeball here. And then they're like, oh, just sit right there. Like they didn't even care. They didn't say, oh, do you need help or anything, and I was scared. I was so mad. And anyways, the next day I went to the eye doctor because when that happened it was like 8 p.m. so there's like no eye doctors open. Anyways, and they told me my beautiful eyeball was damaged, and I went to the company and told them, and they only gave me the money for the eye checkup, which was like $67. And here I am sitting with a damaged eye still, which now I need surgery for that. And I was a young little girl and no one gave me advice. Now that I'm older, everyone's like, oh, you could have sued them. I'm like, you should have told me that when I was asking for help. After that, I worked as a picker for Zara. If you guys don't know what Zara is, it's a company that sells clothes and shoes. So anyways, I was a picker. Anyways, in that job I only worked 11 months because I started getting carpal tunnel and I couldn't even like hold the steering wheel anymore to drive to work. They only paid $10.25, but that was through the agency, and then after the company hired you, they would only pay you $10. So I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, that was pretty lame. I also hated that job because you have to work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day, and no thank you. After that I took like a month vacation, or was it 2? I'm not sure. And then after my vacation, I started working in my last job that I just quit, and it was for a microfiber wholesale company, and right there I did everything. I printed towels, I packed, I did inventory, I did photography for their website. I did a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure I missed a couple of jobs in between, but that's the ones that I mostly remember right now. I've worked so many jobs, it's crazy, and I'm not even counting the jobs that we had before I started working legally. I'm sorry if I made this super long, you guys. Let's proceed to question number 9. What is your favorite show and movie? So one of my favorite shows right now, it is Young Sheldon. If you guys don't know what Young Sheldon is, it is the guy from the Big Bang Theory, but when he was a little child. So I really like that show. My favorite movies are Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Those are my forever favorite movies. Oh, and actually, never mind. I also love Harry Potter. All of the Harry Potter movies, all of the Lord of the Ring movies, all of the Hobbit movies. I'm in love. Question number 10. Something new. Something new going on in my life. I don't know, just school, I guess. I'm going to school. And my broken nail. That's the only thing that's new with me right now. Yeah, I don't think there's anything new with me right now. But anyways, that is all of the questions for this tag. And hopefully you guys made it all the way to the end because I did mention a lot of jobs. I will try to edit most of it out so it won't be so long. Anyways, so thank you, Jackie, for tagging me. If you guys haven't checked her out, make sure you go check her out. And now I'm going to be tagging 3 people. I will be linking everyone's channel in the description box. So the first person that I want to tag is Patty S. The second person that I want to tag is ZD Lifestyle, and the last person I want to tag is, actually I'm going to tag 2 more people. I'm going to be tagging Kate White and Hello Amy Cat. So all the questions and all the people I tagged are going to be linked in the description box if you guys want to go check them out. And if you guys also want to do this tag and I didn't tag you, go ahead and do it. I would like to watch everyone's answers. But anyways, that is all for this tag. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye guys!